Hey, folks. This is my first recording here on YouTube. And we're going to talk a little bit about December 2017 numerology report that I have posted on my website, toopredictable.com, which you can go there and see some of my other writings, some of my other works, the books that I have published on Amazon Kindle that have to do with numerology and politics and some other subjects as well. But today we're going to talk about December 2017, before and after. This is my first attempt at all of this here, and so there is a broader perspective to consider. What we have is December 2017 in numerology, the universal year, which is the actual number of the year itself, 2017, 2017, is coming to a close, yes. And we want to place all that has occurred this year into context. When the numbers within the year are added together is how the 1 year in a 9-year cycle is determined. So the numbers and the basic numbers in astrology run 1 through 9. Any number that you come up with, you can compound number, you can combine the numbers within it and arrive at a final number. So in 2017, the 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 7 comes out to 10, and then 1 plus 0 equals 1. This is a 1 year. This is the beginning year of a 9-year cycle. Just to read on here, for someone like President Trump, this was truly a unique beginning to his next level career or life path ascension. Regardless of politics, this man did not need this job. This was his decision and his decision alone to run for president. Certainly didn't need the money. One could argue all day long about ego or pride of some sort, but that would never fly without would never fly with any other reasonable person. As a matter of fact, the man could have retired decades ago and probably would have been light years away from you and me in terms of wealth and security for the rest of his life, as well as the life of his family. He chose not to, perfectly within his rights to do so. There's always people that are out there challenging whether someone is qualified or not to be president. I find that really just insulting, if not appalling. There's some simple criteria to be president, and hey, if you meet those criteria, then have at it. Try to run. Try to see if you can win an election, and good luck. But in numerology, the numbers cycle beginning with the 1 and continue to the 9. And then the cycle begins again at 10, the following number, which is 1 plus 0 or 1, and then the cycle starts all over again. Therefore, this 1 year of 2017 for everyone, which is a universal year, who follows the same calendar as most humans do on the planet, was a beginning, a starting point, as if one were climbing stairs with the 9th step at the top. To reinforce these the aspects I'm referring to, 2016, therefore, was a 9-year, which was the end of a 9-year cycle. And in that year, or in this year, we found the cycle beginning again. This is just nothing more than the natural order of life. Man created a calendar, a watch and a computer, if you will, to keep track of all of this time. And so Mr. Obama had his rise and fall during that 9-year cycle of his, or that 9-year universal cycle. You can read about his cycles and things in my book, Too Predictable, Politics by the Numbers. You can find that on my website, toopredictable.com. But to read on, to some of us, this was, in fact, a rise and a fall, because Hillary bore the brunt of that fall with the 9-year cycle, in conjunction with 2016 being a 9-year, the end of the cycle election. If one studied astrology and numerology, all of these statements would be obvious. But if you didn't, then you may be in conflict with what has gone on. If not, okay, no problem. However, in the end, the winner was someone who argued against the Obama doctrine, virtually in its entirety. That was, of course, Donald Trump. Yes, the election was close in some regards, but in the overall dynamic, Mr. Trump cleaned house, so to speak. So let's be clear about that. Now, before anyone goes completely off the deep end here, please keep a few things in mind. There is a timing and motion apparatus at work in our world. This is referred to as the political pendulum. Obama and his ilk pushed this pendulum of fate as far to the left as he could. Okay? Allow us to be honest about that. Anyone who understands a litmus test concept would understand that most of what was on the Obama agenda was not in the best interest of the nation as a whole. These programs may have been of interest to the left and those even further left of that, but if scrutinized to any degree, his proclivity was left. Some went so far as to call it off the deep end left, anarchy and dictatorial. Regardless, Mr. Obama and his cohorts shoved about as much shit down America's throat that there was simply no more room. And like his older brother, as in Bill, which is as in Bill Clinton, people came out of the woodwork to push back. If you recall, the infamous pushback was Timothy McVeigh when he bombed the Muir building in Oklahoma City. Additionally, the numerological cycle was ending, and it's very difficult to fight that tsunami-like wave. In spite of all of Clinton's efforts to cheat and subvert her opponents and adversaries, their time had run its course. Finally, there was another factor at play here. The number 9 represents the end of a cycle, be it at the end of 9 days, 9 weeks, or 9 years. And if one hadn't noticed, take a moment and observe all the people who are still reeling over the fact that Hillary lost and Mr. Trump won. Seriously, we are well past the 1-year mark since the election, and will soon mark the 1-year anniversary of President's first year in office. And yet the left in general, and truthfully some of those on the right, continue to twist and turn in their shorts over the fact that essentially they lost the election of November 2016. You see, the significance of that is this. This would be known as baggage to the casual observer and pathological to the serious politicos. The warning given in numerology regarding aspects of the numbers is that when one reaches the end of a cycle, this means the end. Anything that one happens to drag kicking and screaming over the imaginary deadline will suffer and be forced to deal with the consequences of that lack of discipline. Because quite frankly, if one had followed numerology and universal yearly trends, one would have prepared oneself for the end of the 9-year cycle and began to prepare for the beginning of the next cycle. It is truly that simple. Get over it or not. This is every human's choice. Wallow in it or be left behind. In this greater scheme of things, it's just another day on the planet, but come on. Even John Wayne Bobbitt made lemonade out of lemons. Get your shit together. These Dems are carrying around this bag of rocks like a bag of courage. Badge of courage. Look at Hillary. And really, this idiot wanted to be president and she's acting like a bitch. Not very presidential looking to me. She has literally been whining for 14 months now. She's not done one positive thing for the nation since she lost the election. Actually, it goes way beyond that, but that's another argument for another time. This is a time in this country for people to get real. What some of the left do not see as to where this country was headed are not unplugged from the construct of the matrix. Wake up and smell the pot, people. The world is passing you by like the dinosaurs. They also ruled the planet, and look where they are now, in museums and also waiting to be discovered underground. The natural order of things has a way of balancing itself out. The political pendulum is the indicator, the arbiter, and the guardian in one. Regarding December, there are a few things to make note of. December is the 12th month, or in numerology, it's a 3-month. The 1 plus 2 equals 3. The second universal 3-month of each year, with March being the first. The 3 in this case is the culmination of October, November, and December, the Trinity, if you will, the triangle as it is represented symbolically. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Mother, the Father, and the child as well. The 3 is also the number of the artist, which can explain to a large degree the artistry that is present during the holidays, not to mention the depressive thoughts and emotions many feel when they are either away from home or because of the loneliness that many feel at this time of the year. Furthermore, when one combines the universal month with the universal year, that is, we have this number which adds to the complexity of the aspects. 3 for December and 1 for the year comes out to the number 4. So this month of December, this year will be overshadowed by the number 4, which is a lower plane number. The 4 represents routine and limits as well. Many people continue to struggle from the aftermath of the poor economic performance of the business environment under Obama. And Trump continues to meet resistance to his plans to stimulate the economy even after his first year. So this will not feel like a spectacular holiday season in the end. It will be good but not memorable. Let's hope that there are no additional terrorist threats or attacks. Well, since I wrote this earlier, now we just experienced the one in New York. Unfortunately, it was foiled by the terrorist himself. So thank God for that. One final note is that of major interest, and this has to do with astrology, essentially beginning now through the Christmas holiday, Mercury, the planet of communication, will be retrograde. What that means is this: there will be disruptions in services, communications, electronic devices, travel, and anything related to these matters. As a matter of fact, the first evidence of this disruption has been encountered by American Airlines because some glitch in their scheduling software, and the pilots they were to assign to a holiday season of travel. Purportedly, this glitch has affected as many as 15,000 flights right in the middle of the peak of travel time. Of course, we will experience our own personal disruptions from the effects, but all we can do is be prepared and be forewarned. It will happen. I told you so. Rick Barron, thanks for taking the time. Please also take the time to visit my website and look at my books that are published there on a variety of subjects: politics, numerology, and self-help, as well as some other personal stories. Thank you, and let's make it a great December. Onward to the new year.